You're listening to Business Minded with Angie B, a podcast show that inspires business-minded people to pursue their passion. My name is Angela Boone, aka Angie B. I'm an entrepreneur with over 35 years of experience in the construction industry. My company has taken part in projects ranging from 250 to a whopping $1.5 billion capital business owners to talk about their challenges, how they overcame their challenges, and the lessons they learned. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Business Minded with me, your host, Angie B. How are you? How are you? I'm here live. I'm here. Thumbs up. So today we're going to talk about, are you committed? And if so, what are you committed to? And I'm over here on the screen looking orange. I was trying to actually get myself together as far as with my lighting. Let me know if you hear anything, if you hearing any. Uh, I think I turned everything off. I'm trying to do this without the ear headphones today. So are you able to see me? Somebody talk to me today. I'm looking for you to talk to me today. All right. So today we're going to talk about being committed. Being committed. And are you committed to something? If so, what are you committed to? I want to come today. I want to talk about Luke 5:1 through 11, and you could go back on your own and check that part out. But what I want to go down to is verse number 4. Okay, so it talks about when Jesus had finished speaking, because he was speaking. And so he said to Simon Peter, "Put out into the deep water and lower your net for a catch of fish." Simon replied, "Master, we worked hard all night to the point of exhaustion and caught nothing in our nets. But as your word, I will do as you say and lower the nets again." So once he did what Jesus said, well, first of all, he said, go out into the deep. A lot of times, we might be afraid to go out in the deep. And we just afraid. We afraid to go out in the deep. Okay, I was waiting to actually start my podcast and to actually go live on my podcast like this, actually showing my face. And I'm looking like a pumpkin on here. I don't know if I look like a pumpkin to you, but I was trying to get my lighting right? So, so it's always something that you're trying to do when you start to do something, okay? But you got to step out in the deep. So the thing is that what are you really committed to? Are you committed? Are you committed to anything? And if so, what is it? Is it something that is you going to be able to pursue your passion? Is it something that's going to take you to the next level? What is it that you're committed to? You have to be committed to something. One of the things that I'm learning, and I'm going to get back to about Peter and bringing his nets out, and when he listened to Jesus and went out into the deep. Going out in the deep, what it does is it takes you to a whole nother level because you're stepping out in something that you're not used to doing. Now, if you are a fisherman or if you know somebody that fished before, usually they go fishing when it's quiet or dark or at night, when it's quiet so the fish won't scatter when they see the boat or however. I'm not a fisher. I don't fish, so I'm not sure, but this is kind of what I understand of someone who fish does. So in the scripture, Peter was talking about, we was out there all night to the point of we was just exhausted. Have you done something so long that you have gotten exhausted and that there is just absolutely nothing? You just don't even want to do it again. But he listened to what Jesus said when he said, go out into the deep and let your nets down. Let me tell you something. At that point, when he listened to what God said, right? When he listened to him, that's when they had gotten so much fish that Simon Peter literally had to call the other boats, his partners. He had to bring them in to help with the fish. And the thing is, he was at the point where their nest was breaking, and they had so much fish in their boat that their boat literally was starting to sink. I mean, if that's not an overflow, you tell me what is. So a lot of times, we at that breaking point, and at that breaking point is right when you right there at where things are going to happen for you on a whole nother higher level. And then at that point, if you go ahead and read on, you will see more of what happened. And Peter was like, I'm a sinner, forgive me, Lord, and he was like, because he didn't want to do it. But he listened to God, and he did it anyway. And he got the overflow and was able to bring his people in who also was able to get the overflow as well. So a lot of times, you have to be committed. When you committed, you got to be committed to something. Just like I told you last week, I talked about how I got into the construction final cleaning and how I started doing the cleaning and everything. And, I was like, woo, that first job. I was like, oh, I'm about to quit. I was about to quit. And it was my company, but I was about to quit. But it's so many people. That's why they say if you haven't been in business, it takes 5 years, they say, for your business to actually get to a certain point of growth. You have to go through those growing stages in life, in your business, no matter what you do. On your job, there's stages. There's just stages. And so you got to be committed to something. I know every time I think about quitting or stopping, or maybe this just isn't it. And, and I talk about that, and then this little still voice come to me and say, no, keep going. And when I do, and I'm like, I know you told me to do this, so I'm doing it. So what's the problem? And it's, now with what's going on. And you know what? I just really feel that what's going on now, don't get me wrong. People who are not working, okay, they have to get some money. So unemployment is good for them. But then you have people who wanted to go out on unemployment who are now at the point of, and so you have to really be mindful of what you're doing, okay? Who's now at the point of they didn't do anything with that money that when they got the $600, they didn't do anything to invest in their future while they were off, like starting a business. I told you they was in the gym shoe line. Why are you in the gym shoe line? You need to be getting yourself together. And now they're at the point where they're not getting the additional $600, which made it $900 every week. That was something that was poured into them. And if they had just done it right, then they would have been able to start a business, go out here, buy some wholesale stuff, get something going digitally online. Even if they took a class, like I said, there's classes on the platform called Udemy, classes that they can take for graphic art. This was a time for whatever was in their heart to pursue their passion. And everybody has something. And if you don't know what it is, pray about it and ask God, what is it that you want me to do? What's your will in my life? Let your will be done. Because I'm going to tell you something. Like I told you before, I never wanted to get back into construction, and I ended up getting back into construction, but I didn't want to. So I want to go ahead and say, you committed, be committed to something. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, if you tell them you are going to do something, be committed to doing that something, even if it's for a few days, whatever it is, whatever the length of time it is. Just do it. It's sometimes if you've never done it before, it's going to be hard for you the first couple of times that you do it. But like I tell people, people always say, yeah, I can do it. I want to work. I want to work with you. And there's only certain people that can handle that. And that's why I start people on things like when we have temporary assignments, I start them on temporary assignments. And I start people on temporary assignments because I don't want to put you in a full-time position if you can't handle what's temporary. You understand what I'm saying? I know if you're a business owner, you understand what I'm saying. If you have a business and that you run your business, even if you run it part-time and you work somewhere, you understand what I'm saying. Okay. The thing is that, and you can even, if you're a manager on your job, on a job, you understand what I'm talking about, even as a manager. People don't want to come to work, but they beg for the job, baby. They beg for the job. Oh yeah, I want to do that. I want to come work for you. I want that job. They beg for the job, but then they're not committed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, it's hard sometimes. Yes, it get hard if you're not used to something. But in order for you to be successful in life, if you committed to something with somebody and you push through that, just like they did when Peter got exhausted and he was like, we've been out there all night fishing. We've been out there all night to the point of exhaustion. We don't want to do it no more. We tired. But you know what? But because Jesus, because you saying so, because you telling me to go out there and going out there. If you notice, he said they was out there all night. So that's what fishermen do, professional people, okay? The professional fishermen who know the masters of fisher, that fish, you know, that's what they do. So they went out there and to the point of exhaustion because they were tired. They didn't catch nothing. So now we in the daytime. Are you serious, Jesus? You want us to go out here during the daytime when the fish can see us, they can see our boat, and you want us to go out and do it now? We was up all night. Same thing, y'all. And then as soon as they did what he said, guess what? It just overflowed for him. And like I said, he brought on his partners as well. A lot of times we miss out on blessings because we so easy to give up. It's just so, I'm just tired. Like I wanted to do, like I told y'all, but I said, nah, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Have y'all ever, or if you, I know you heard this book, Think and Grow Rich. Okay. Let me tell you about this book by Napoleon Hill. I know you probably, I need my nails done. But anyway, you know this book, right? So this particular book right here, we were actually, as a family group, we used to do our group discussions and have our weekly or monthly, once a month family meetings, and we all get together and we choose a book or whatever. Well, this was a book that we chose, and I also have it on audio as well because I love audio. Because one thing about me when I'm working, and I know is some kind of time consuming and what I do, but I like what I do, you know. I could do it all day. And if I'm listening to my my audio books, you know, and it inspires me. And the next thing you know, I'm done with what I'm doing, you know. But I always go back when I think about quitting, or I always go back to that one. It's a one story in there that stuck to my mind, and that's 3 Feet from Gold. So if you read this book or you have it on audio, 3 Feet from Gold. It was this man who had raised all this money, got money from his family, neighbors to buy this equipment because he knew he saw gold at one level of this project, and he had to get more equipment to dig. And so he got all these people to invest in this equipment, and all his neighbors, people, whatever, and family members, and he bought this equipment. So he was digging and digging and digging and digging and digging and digging and nothing. And so the man was like, okay, I'm about to give up. This is it. I'm giving up. It's over. So he ended up selling his equipment to a junk man. Now, you know, the junk man got it for really, 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 really cheap, right? But the man ended up over time, the one who equipment it originally was, he ended up paying off all the people, but he remembered something even himself. So this junk man was a smart man. He was a smart man. If you don't know something, you go and get somebody that do know, okay? So what he did was he went and got an engineer who basically knew about mining. I guess you could say it's mining, whatever. So the engineer said, oh, whatever the engineer did, he said, yeah. So they dug 3 feet down, 3 feet. And hit gold. That man was rich, instantly rich, and got the equipment for cheap. The man who originally had it, all he had to do was, number one, try to find someone who knew about it, or just continue to dig. And he only had 3 feet to go. 3 feet, 3 feet to go. So every time I think about giving up, or like, is this, is it time to leave us alone? I think about the 3 feet from goal. And the next thing you know, God opens another door. Okay. He opens another door. The thing with the door opening is that a lot of times, it's not a sit down job. It's not something that you just sit down and do. But if you do it well, it'll give you the experience to withstand the things that you need to do, in life. So you can't always run and give up. When you run and give up, that's the end of that. So I just wanted to kind of share this with you about 3 feet from goal, because, I mean, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. It takes a lot to own a business. It takes a lot to stay committed to what you're doing, and that's why what I do is, like I said, I start off giving people temporary assignments first, just to see if you can handle it. And in my mind, once I give someone a temporary assignment and they can handle it, the next thing what I do is, because they don't always know the plans that you have, going forward, bringing in more people. And then those people that you bring in, the people who could withstand the assignment, then what's able to happen there is that they manage the new people who come in on that particular assignment, because they already know the assignment. But people can't last. It's hard for people to last. It's hard for people to be focused. And I'm going to tell you something, that unemployment, it ain't do nothing but messing you up. So a lot of these people left their jobs because the employer said, well, do you want to be on unemployment, or do you want to stay here, work part-time, and then be partially on unemployment, or do you want to go to full unemployment? Some people took the full unemployment. And guess what? You took that full unemployment because it was $900. And I understand the $900, but you could have still worked at your job part-time and then took on some of that, or just stayed at your job, because now that $900, if you didn't invest it, if you had a plan, write the vision down and make it plain so them that read it can run with it. You didn't have a plan. If you did not have a plan, if you don't have a plan, you got to have a plan with everything that you do. Everything that you do, you have to have a plan. And you need to listen to someone who has actually done this longer than you. They can give you good advice, and then you put your own swing on it, but they can tell you how things run. Sometimes people don't even want to listen to you. Okay. But if you're working on an assignment and you're working for a company, you have to listen, but then again, put your swing on it once you understand the concept of what it is that you're doing. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just here to say that you got to be committed to something. And it starts out being committed to working. Now, I know when I was younger, I'm going to bring this up because it's the truth. When I was younger, man, I had a job. Every time I turned around, I was like, oh, I don't want to work there no more. I'm going over here. But it was a phase that you go through. But again, if you're looking to do something, you have to be committed. So by the time I got like 20, I was 27, I think. But I always had my own business too. So no matter what I did, I always had my own business. So then I ended up working for the phone company, and I was there for 8 years. And then, but at the time, I also, excuse me, I should have brought water with me. I also own a couple of nail salons as well, because I've always been an entrepreneur. I always had that entrepreneurial spirit. And so, but what I do is I've always found a way to incorporate what I do with other people, to bring in other people to teach them. And so what I did was I ended up with my, when I had my nail salons, I ended up, me and my teacher was cool, my nail instructor. And I ended up bringing some of the young ladies in there, younger people in there, to teach them about business etiquette, teach them how to run a salon, teach them how to deal with clients. And also that's in one of my books, that I wrote called Faith Cometh by Hearing. And it's actually based on me as a female in a male dominated industry, which is construction. And I don't know why my daughter calling me and I'm on the podcast. I don't have no idea unless she want to be a guest. And if she hear me, you know what? I don't understand. Well, I don't understand it. But anyway, one of the things that I don't know, are you all able to chat with me? Can y'all hear me? Is my mic on? It say my mic is on. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all say something? Can somebody say something if you know how to use the chat? All right. Well, anyway, I don't know if she texts me, says something. Okay, somebody saying, I'm sorry, y'all. People are saying stuff to me. Didn't I tell y'all to stop texting me? And I'm going to stop looking at it because that's my fault. Y'all stop texting me. But anyway. All right, y'all. So, okay, that's that random. Y'all know how I get see how I do that random thing? That's for owning your own business, okay? You sometimes get random. But anyway, whatever y'all have to say, please tell me right here in the chat box. Or send me your messages after this, okay? But anyway, yeah. So, you got to be committed to something. You got to be committed, and it's important to be committed to something. So I'm gonna excuse me, take a break right now, and we're going to come back and we're going to do the second part of the show. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, it'd be good for you to comment in the chat. And I know the chat is on, so go ahead and comment in the chat, and I look forward to getting your response and everything. So we're gonna take a quick break, and I'll be right back with you, okay? You're listening to Business Minded with Angie B, a podcast show that inspires business-minded people to pursue their passion. My name is Angela Boone, aka Angie B. I'm an entrepreneur with over 35 years of experience in the construction industry. My company has taken part in projects ranging from 250 to a whopping $1.5 billion capital improvement program. I sit down with small business owners to talk about their challenges, how they overcame their challenges, and the lessons they learned. Welcome back. No problem. It's okay if it's your first time. I'm glad you said something of, hey, how you doing? Okay, so y'all, give me 1 second, okay? I know this is crazy. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Hello? I don't know what's going on, but they crazy. I had to do that. Okay, so my daughter is out of town, and so a lot of times when your kid's out of town, you have to answer the phone. Good Lord. I don't know why she won't text me. Oh my God. I don't understand it. She know I do my show. Y'all, hold on. Okay. I'm going to have to take this. This is crazy, ain't it? Isn't this crazy? Because if it's an emergency, she needs to text me. You know what? I'm not doing this with her. Anyway, y'all. Oh my God. See what I'm talking about? Let me tell y'all something about being a parent. All of this has to do with your business, everything that you do in life, your business, everything, your parenting. But I'm like, I do my show. Okay. I do my show. And the thing is that they're out of town. And so, you know what, y'all, we have a lot to deal with when we own a business, whether we work, whether we own a business or not, just being a parent, and this has everything to do with everything that I'm talking about. And we just committed to so much, as parents, and trying to be entrepreneurs and working a job. And it's like, you got grown folks that you still got to be kind of responsible for, and I know I can't tell no story because my parents was responsible for me for a long time. So I don't know, but getting back to being focused and committed on to something, no matter what it is that you're doing. And, you just have to be, and I'm so glad that you all join me today for Business Minded with me, your host, Angie B. And I'm going to tell you, this is things that go on behind the scenes, even though this is my podcast, right? But it's things that go on behind the scenes that you still have to check. You still have to look at. I mean, in the middle of a business meeting or something, it could be an emergency, and there's always emergencies. And I understand that. And I understand that too with people who work with me. You do have emergencies, and you have emergencies, but then you also have things called appointments that you have set up prior to you even coming to work work somewhere. So it's always good for you to say, hey, you know what? I know I'm supposed to start with you on this day, and this day. And but on this day here, I have an appointment. So my thing is with that, either one or two things, we'll work it out. Either you just take that day, okay? Or if you just need to leave early, that's fine. But it's always good to tell a person up front, a business owner, or the manager, HR, whoever you're dealing with. It's always good to tell them up front prior to you starting a job, because at least they know, because it's a project that we're working on, and the project is only it's crazy how it was a 30-day project, but they split it up at 15 days, and you can't get in without being approved the week before. So my thing is that when you say that, and it's a commitment. So how can anybody ask you for a full-time job when they can't even be committed to a 15-day position? And that's one of the reasons why I always start people out temporarily. So my thing is that that's what happens. So it's like, tell them up front, if you have something scheduled, let them know. I understand emergencies, but I'm talking about the difference between an emergency and an appointment. Just let them know. I like to let people know, because my thing is, for the assignment that we were doing, you can't get that day back. So it's like, that's a part of a person's 15 days, and you can't get it back. And if they don't show up, it's like the whole team is just, so you need to work with this many people to get this job done. And these people committed in the beginning because they wanted it. But then when they get there, it's like, okay, well, I only want to work this many days, but say that. Say you only want to work so many days a week. That's better than committing to something and you can't even pull it off. That puts the whole team in a situation, the entire team in a situation. And so I believe that a lot of this, people will learn, and they'll see down the line when they get ready to do something, or if they want to start a business or whatever it is that they want to do. I believe that down the line, they will see that they'll look back. Sometimes people do. I know with me, sometimes I can look back and see that, wow, that was a good learning experience for me. And so people can look back and say, wow, dang, I did that. I shouldn't have did that, or blah, 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 because if you're trying to do something, and I look at it when you get older. Now, I'm going to tell you something. There's some older people who lazy. Oh, some older people who lazy too. I mean, listen. They hiding in the corner at GM Chrysler and Ford too, now, child. They hiding on the steps somewhere in the bathroom or in the janitor's closet. I don't care where they work at. You got some lazy people who don't want to work, but just they want to get paid, okay? I mean, that's with all ages, okay? But a lot of times, younger people, they don't really know anything yet about commitment because they're younger. Like if they're 18, and I'm going to say up to maybe 20 something, and they don't really know a lot about commitment. They start out like, maybe maybe their parents have a company, they start there. But I just wish that we could learn more about commitment. I will tell you this. I was talking to a friend of mine, and this friend of mine was telling me that when he was in school, he said they had actually a course about commitment. He couldn't remember the name he couldn't remember the title. So I said, well, wow. I said, well, he said it was in high school, and they talked about being committed to something, and actually, your word is your bond. And if you don't have, and if you ain't got a good name, you don't have nothing, absolutely nothing. If you don't have a good name, you have absolutely nothing. And again, like I said, emergency versus appointments are two totally different things. But he talked about this course, and it was dealing with commitment. And people were committed to hey Raymond, people were committed, thank you. People were committed to it was a course in commitment, okay? And they taught this course in high school. Now I told him that because we talked about when we graduated from high school, he graduated way before me. I said, well, by the time I got in high school, they didn't have that. But what they did have, they had it was called home economics, which was cooking and sewing. They had they had the regular typewriters, and then they went up to electric typewriters. And so I actually learned on electric typewriter, but my typing skills actually got me my jobs as I went forward because I could type. And so I remember, my sister probably don't remember, but I remember telling my sister and everybody that I knew, I said, make sure that you take typing, because with typing, you could always get a job if you could type. So, and it's true. And even to this day, but you have a lot of other skills now. You have graphic artists, graphic design, you have illustration, but this is all using a computer and a keyboard, and more drawing and stuff like that. But, that's what they have. And you have to go to a specialized school for most of this. But then I found out that in the suburbs, they actually had those classes for the young people. Now in the city, I don't know what to say. But in the city, they don't have all those classes. And then I found out from some of the young people and some of the schools that are supposed to have like all these brand new computers and all these software and, to teach them things, that the computers don't even work. So I don't understand it. Come on, y'all, what you doing with the money? So now that we are online, okay, and everybody's online doing everything, which they have online schooling. I don't know. Sometimes I be thinking people be knowing what's getting ready to happen, or they didn't heard about it, And so they started online school, where they had it for college, certain classes you could take online, but then they started that high school thing, or the elementary to high school, where they were like really getting people to take these online, getting kids to, sign up for online classes. And a lot of people, parents said that their children really excelled really well in the online classes. And I was for online school, for elementary, middle school and high school. I was actually for it. And I was for it because what I noticed, inside the schools, and I'm still talking about commitment stuff, because you got to be committed to something, and I'm getting to somewhere with this story. And so even with online school, you have to be committed, okay? And online classes, because you got to show up, and you got to show up dressed the way you would dress if you were going to class. You can't show up with no shirt on. I mean, I've heard some stories, y'all. I've heard some stories, and I'm not even going to get into the one about old people and Zoom and don't know how to mute their phone. Older people. Let me say older people. I heard a story about that. And so I'm just like, I'm not even going there today, though. I'm not going there today. I'm not going there. But you got to be committed to something. And the thing is that go on YouTube. Go on YouTube. If you do not know how to use technology like Zoom, know how to mute your phone, if you use your phone for Zoom and you just, in your computer, but you had a voice through your phone, go on there and learn how to mute your phone, unmute your phone, and check your phone to make sure it's muted, or check your computer to make sure it's muted. If you are on a Zoom call with your company, with whomever you on a Zoom call with, be careful with that. Okay. It'd be different if it's just you and your friends, and that's different. But I'm talking about in a professional setting. Be careful with Zoom if you don't know what you're doing, because they're going to hear some things that you didn't want them to hear. I mean, It's just crazy. But you gotta be committed to something. Like I said, it's a lot of things that people just don't want to be committed to. And like I said, I'm not gonna just put this on the younger people that they're not committed to stuff. They got to learn how to be committed. I think that a lot of times we have spoiled our children, and we definitely spoil our grandchildren, but we have to actually um, show them, or we have to how can I say this? We have to be an example of being committed to something. So I just, I wanted to say that we have to be an example to be committed to something. So yeah, again, what are you committed to? And if so, are you committed? What are you committed to? Okay, what are you committed to? So is it something, like I said, that's going to make you you go higher in where you're at? Is it something that's helping you with your purpose? Again, that unemployment at this point, $300 a week, and they taking out taxes, or you probably said, oh, no, don't take out the taxes. I want all my money. You have to pay taxes on that money. So again, you had to have a plan. We got to start to think smarter, think smarter and don't work so hard. Okay. That wasn't how that was supposed to go. Let's see. Work smarter. Look, work smarter, think hard. Somebody tell me, think hard. Let's see. Work smarter, think smarter. Anyway, yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. But we got to learn how to think so we can work smarter and not as hard, because it don't have to be hard, but you have to think about it and have your mind think about it and write it down. Write the vision down, make it plain that them who read it can run with it. The thing is that you got to be committed. If you're not committed to something, you ain't committed to nothing. I mean, if you just let it, and that's why I talk about speaking on things. I have to be careful with what I talk about. And that's why I always tell y'all that I'm singing to the choir and I am a member of the choir. Being committed to something, you have to watch what you say, And just not too long ago, I was somewhere and I had to do a walkthrough, and these people wasn't clean. And I had to tell them, you have to clean up, because I won't be able to bring these people in to do any work. It's just a certain thing that we got to do. People got to do in order for us to do stuff. So in the midst of me doing that and doing my walkthrough, I had my glasses in my pocket. My glasses fell out my pocket right next to a pile of feces. Everybody was like, ooh. And I can't tell you what I said. Before I knew it, I said something. I said, right next to the shit. That's what I said. And it just came out my mouth, because I get to the point where I'm older. And I didn't mean to say that. It really just kind of came out. It did. It really did. And I was like, and I guess I could have said dong, because that's in the Bible. Dong. Okay. But that's not what came out. And I just, at that point, I was at my point where I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing? What am I doing? And sometimes, you just have to back up and just be like, you know what? 3 feet from goal. You're 3 feet from goal. You just 3 feet from goal. But again, be committed to something, be committed, even in relationships. I mean, can you just be committed in a relationship? All of this has everything to do with your business, growing your business. It's your relationships. Are you committed even in your relationship? A relationship, are you committed? I mean, can you even make friends? The Bible says you have to be friendly you have to show yourself friendly to be a friend or make friends. And it's like, can you even be friendly? And I mean, honestly, true commitment, true friendship. It's probably only been a few people in my life that I can consider a true friend that didn't really judge me for, but told me the things that I needed to know, and not just agree with me just to be agreeing with me because they were my friend, and which, it's just very seldom that you get type of um that type of thing from someone, who, and the thing is that I could take it, certain things, and it depends on how you say something to somebody. And that's a lot of times I have to work on that, because it depends on how you delivering what you saying to somebody. You have to deliver it. And I know I deliver things differently. I know I do. I know who I am. I know who God created me to be. God know who he created me to be. I know who I am. And I know I deliver things. And then when I have a passion about something, my delivery will be with a passion in it, and who don't know me wouldn't even know that it's just I got a passion for it, and it's my tone, and and I just believe in it, and that's another thing about me. When I believe in something strongly, I believe in it, and no one can change my mind unless you come up with something that really makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if you like that, and you that type of person, and that happens with you as well. But it's like, this is where I'm at. I have a strong personality. I have a strong will, and because of that, I had to learn how, and I will listen. And I might not say something that same day, but I might come back later and say, yeah, you know what? You was absolutely right. I don't have a problem with telling somebody they was right. I don't have a problem with saying I was wrong. And that's what I truly like about me, for real, because I don't even have a problem with apologizing to people. Maybe something I said came off wrong. And all of this has to do with your business, your family, your friendships, your relationships. You cannot build relationships if you cannot take constructive criticism. Now, it's a difference. It's a difference in constructive criticism of somebody trying to criticize you, okay, because they just trying to be nasty and they hating on you. It's a big difference in that, because you do have people who are haters and who will hate on you, okay, and call themselves, well, it's just constructive criticism. But you can tell by the tone of somebody's voice. You can tell whether or not it's constructive. And you can also tell when you're talking to somebody, if you trying to be excited about something and you want them to be excited with you about it. You can also tell in their spirit when they not excited for you and they jealous hearted. You could tell it. I can tell it. And when I feel that, you know what I do? I back off. I stop talking about it, because you're not the person who I need to be celebrating this with. And if you can't celebrate somebody, I'm telling you, if you can't celebrate a person's milestones, but all you want them to do is celebrate you. It's all about you. It's all about what you doing. Celebrate me. It's all about you. And you can't celebrate. You jealous. You got a jealous heart. You're not even, what you doing is not even, you bragging. That's why I said, I know where all my stuff come from is God. I know that it is him, and because of him is who I am, and because of him I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And a lot of times, I know one time I was told by someone that your gift can be your gift is a curse and a blessing. First of all, God said he only give good and perfect gifts. So how can my gift be a curse and a blessing? But I knew that person was jealous hearted. Okay. And they was a pastor, but I knew they was jealous hearted. But it's okay, because you know what? You have to pray for people like that and keep it moving. But you cannot allow someone to speak into your life some more craziness. And be careful what you speak into somebody's life, some more craziness, because really that stuff come right back around and be right in your life, and it's happening to you. If you cannot celebrate somebody, then hey, okay, fine, whatever, that's on you. But but when you start to try to criticize, and yes, I know the difference between constructive criticism and criticism, because you're trying to pull me down, and the devil is a liar. So yep, So I want you to understand that too, because there's always people around you, number one, who try to pull you down. I'll talk to anybody about anything, about business, how to get started. And I owe somebody something too. And I just remembered I owe you something. I owe you some paperwork, and I just remembered, and you're on here, you know who I'm talking to, but I owe you some paperwork. So I forgot because of what's been going on. So a lot of times you got to remind me, because sometimes I forget, but yeah, I do owe you something. And I try to keep my word on what I do. Sometimes I just forget, you know, and then what they say, don't charge it to my head and not my heart, because I totally forgot. But you have to remember, if you got to be committed to something, then like I said, if you don't have a good name, you don't have anything. You don't have nothing if you don't have a good name, because nobody want to be bothered with you, you know, and you gonna be like, oh, well, you know what, you hiring? Nope, sure not you. You know, I remember how you put me down last time, you know, and you just got to be careful with that. And that's what happened, you know, and you have to, if something is going on with you, you have to talk to people about it. If you can't come for some reason, you don't have to tell all your business. But if you're committed to something and somebody has a deadline and you cannot, something came up that you can't, just let them know. But most of the time people be lying, because first of all, at this point, let me stop. You know what? I'm not going there. Nope. I'm not going there, y'all. I'm not going there today. I'm going to leave that alone. So, you know, I just wanted to say, if you're going to be committed, be committed. You got to be committed to something, or else you just flying by your wings and you just fly wherever the wind take you. And that right there is not good. So I'm so glad that you all joined me today. Thank you. And I do have some guests that's going to be coming on the show. I'm really excited about that. But again, I just stepped out on faith myself today and did my whole broadcast live. You have no idea what it's like getting everything together behind the scenes. But those of you that are business owners, you know, it takes a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scene before that person is hired. Everything is put in place. And so this person that you hire is coming to something that they have no idea the commitment. They have no idea what you went through to get there. They have no idea what it took to set that up so that when they show up, it's more of a smooth sailing. They never know what happens on the before that. So behind the scenes is a lot rougher than what you see when you get there. It's a lot of negotiation. It's a lot of contract reading. It's a lot of, well, we can't do that, you know, because blah, 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 blah. And we need this, this, and this. So it's a lot of stuff that go on before. And then as a business owner, you're like, God, am I going to be able to find some people to hire? You know, and you want to help people, and, you know, you want to do, you know, I had this one organization. Let me tell you this real quick, and I'm going to get off of here until next week. But I had this one organization. They're a legit organization. I'm not going to say who it is. But I said, yeah, I need can you help me find some people for this project? Because that's what they do, right? So they called me back and say, well, you know, everybody on unemployment. Can you pay them cash? Everybody can't be getting unemployment, y'all. I just don't believe everybody getting unemployment. And I'm just like, you know what? Y'all, this world we living in right now, it's different. It's a different world. So I just wanted really? Because Angel keep on calling me, and you know she out of town, so I don't know if it's an emergency or not. And I don't know why she not texting me. That's why. See what I'm talking about? Now you need to be listening to the podcast and not trying to ask me no questions. So anyway, that's my friend, y'all. My friend, I hope to have my friend on here one day. Wayman. Wayman used to be vice president of Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. And now I'm going to just put him out there since he wanted to ask me questions. But yeah, and he has some really good information because him and his wife had a company. He still does consulting and he does some big work development, all kind of stuff. And yep, I'm bragging about you. And I mean, he knows a lot of stuff, and he could actually tell some good stories, and he got some great information. So I'm gonna try to talk him on coming on the podcast so you could get some information from somebody who has ran a, vice president of a large, Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. And so, and then I have another friend too. I'm trying to get on here. And he's so funny. He was in the military, but he was also the deputy for Wayne County for Veteran Affairs. And um, I had an opportunity to work with him on some projects with the veterans. So I'm going to try to get him on here. And I just have so many people that I want to line up for you because they have so much great information. And also my daughter, Ashley in New York, who does a lot of health stuff. And she does a lot of stuff. She has a whole health line. I want to say it right, goddessherbals.shop. And I think I've told you that before. And, I want to get her on here, and a young lady that I met while Fashion Week. I want to get her on here as well. So I got a lot of stuff coming up for y'all. I'm so glad that you tuned in today, but it's time for me to run. I hope that I got everything, and y'all know how I do my random thing. Y'all know my phone be a random situation too sometimes. It just be random. So excuse me for my phone, but again, like I said, you got to be committed to something. What are you committed to? Is it getting you further and further? Okay, y'all, guess what? Until next time, I'm your girl, Angie B. And this is Business Minded with me. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope that you share it with other people. And I hope to see you all on the broadcast next week. So until next week, I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Peace out. You're listening to Business Minded with Angie B, a podcast show that inspires business-minded people to pursue their passion. My name is Angela Boone, aka Angie B. I'm an entrepreneur with over 35 years of experience in the construction industry. My company has taken part in projects ranging from 250 to a whopping $1.5 billion capital improvement program. I sit down with small business owners to talk about their challenges, how they overcame their challenges, and the lessons they learned.